Dan and Amy. Now, Amy, have you heard of the Policy Circle?
The Women's Policy Circle?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I heard rumblings about it about a year and a half ago, actually.
Yeah, this has started relatively recently, but it seems to have taken off, not just in the Chicago metropolitan region, but now it's been exported to other states. It's essentially, as I understand it, I'm not invited.
Yeah, and don't try to say you
No.
feel like a woman so you could come into the meeting.
No, I won't try and do that.
Get
But
your greasy mitts off.
smart professional women getting together to talk public policy and then, be active in the public policy process. And it seems to be catching on. For more on this, we're happy to be joined by Sylvie Ricketts. Amy took French. I did not, so I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Sylvie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me on your show.
Well, so tell us about the genesis of the Policy Circle and how it's proceeded and what you guys aim to do.
Yeah, well, like you said, our goal is really we've developed a framework and a model that we want to bring women together to meet and have a dialogue on how public policy impacts their lives, impacts the free market systems, impacts the ability for people to start and grow businesses. So we started actually in Wilmette with just a few women, 15 women in my living room, and we just got together after I've attended a conference around public policy, and we just started discussing, the book, Milton Friedman's book, Free to Choose, and it kind of went from there.
Good start.
So the first 4 chapters. And it just really went from there. The group in Wilmette grew, from 15 to 40 to 60, and we found in Indianapolis a similar thirst for women wanting to just have a dialogue about policy and wanting to understand the facts and also come together with women in their neighborhood, in their community, so they could start to get engaged on issues that would directly affect them.
So you don't you don't have speakers. It's just a conversation among women.
Yes. That's right. We don't have speakers, so what we've done is we developed a series of briefs that are national level briefs on the key issues. So on healthcare, on economic growth, taxes, fiscal responsibilities, poverty, education, and we ask women to come prepared and to discuss. And we do a true roundtable discussion where we ask every single person there to share their views. And there's something magical that happens when you do that. You feel heard. You can articulate the issue in your own words, and you're much more likely to start engaging with others in your community around you about policy. You will start reading the paper and look at it differently. You will engage in conversation. And that's really our goal, is to start the conversation, to change the conversation, and move from confrontation to real dialogue, to understand the two sides and to understand and encourage candidates that are aligned with, our views on key principles of free markets, and then hold them accountable and be able to do that.
So you're coming from a free market perspective, as you mentioned, and starting with Friedman is a good start. I mean, I'm happy to be a facilitator and provide everybody a reading list if you want, for those that don't know. I mean,
Dan inserts himself again.
I've done
You're
it,
not a woman, Dan.
I've done it for Amy, and and she's come a long way, baby. So
I'm a work in progress.
But let me ask you this question: Is this also an incubator for future candidates for office? People kind of building a support network, and as you say, kind of learning more about the issues through that peer-to-peer dialogue, and maybe someday we'll have some of these participants running for state and federal offices.
Well, hopefully, that's something. Originally when we started this, the idea was really to deepen the understanding, and then something magical happened is that, women start encouraging each other to run for different positions, whether it's at the very local district, park districts, school boards, city level, and then even in Congress. So, one of our members, Joan Lasson, is now running for Congress in the 9th District in Illinois 9. And then, so that's been an outcome that we did not really anticipate, but seems to happen. And then she has a network of people, that people decide, we're a nonpartisan nonprofit. So the idea is to really be a platform for women to jump into the arena, and then also for them to develop their network to feel supported when they do so.
Now, how often do you ladies meet?
So we encourage, what we've done is we've developed a year of conversation. So we suggest that circles meet every other month around a specific theme, but they could really choose to meet around whatever topic they want to. So in Illinois, we've had, for instance, one meeting around a school district consolidation in our area, for instance, and that came from a report that was developed by the Illinois Policy Institute. So it's very specific to our circle, to our area, and something that we just wanted to learn more about. So, it's every other month. We suggest some themes so that circle leaders are not left blank, having to try to find something. And we also partner with state-based free market think tanks, such as the Illinois Policy Institute, to provide really the state perspective on the national issues, and also help prioritize what are the issues that people should really be looking at and understand in their state. So we had one discussion around the pension crisis in Illinois to really try to understand and follow the issue and follow the issue more closely and in a more informed way.
Now, are you also using this potentially as a way to groom women to replace these insufferable women on The View and The Chew? And we need women or whatever the heck women in that have some knowledge of public policy, talking about public policy on TV. That would be fun.
That would be fun. And as I said, we're really developing a stepping stone. I think I would call it this way, a stepping stone, or really a springboard for women to see how they want to fulfill their civic duties as citizens. And that's really the goal. And right now, so we started off, in Illinois. My co-founders are in Indianapolis. So we started in parallel in the two cities. And we have now 10 circles in Illinois, close to 10 also in Indiana. But we have a total of 31 circles in 11 states.
Wow.
Right now. And we just really officially launched March 2015. And this past weekend, we just had our very first conference in Indianapolis, where over 110, 15 women came together, and we asked them to come prepared to have read briefs about specific issues, and they were given the platform to share their views. They participated in 8 roundtable discussions. We had moderators that were scholars, specialists in the area, in specific topics, and they did it,
Well, women, so that's so interesting. The growth of this, that much growth that quickly speaks to, the axiom about business. Every enterprise solves a problem, and so this seems to be solving a problem where women didn't feel like they, particularly of a kind of a free market perspective, didn't feel like they had an outlet for engagement, and now they do. What I'd just be curious, as kind of a political hack, the women that are involved in the policy circle, what is it they said about the lack of intersection points to get involved in public policy or the political process, prior to the creation of these circles?
Well, I think a lot of women were on the sideline, not wanting to get engaged, not to engage us in conversation. So if you think about it, as a woman, you wear many hats. You work, you have your work discussions, you have your family discussion. You may be involved in supporting a lot of different charities in your church. There's no space, for you to really engage on policy or politics, more policy really, without, it's a risky field, especially in places like Illinois, and the way discussions quickly turn to personal attacks, to just not about a dialogue of ideas and philosophy of where things should go and what are the core principles that drive policy making. So that's what we're providing. We're providing this space.
And do you talk about the pink elephant in the room? Do you ladies discuss the upcoming presidential election? Because, in 2012, 53% of the voters were women.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have one circle in New York that is actually discussing specifically the election. And I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it, if they're looking at the platform of each of the candidates. I think that we're certainly looking at, we are having also a discussion about the importance of Congress and the Senate and why the gridlock and why it matters who you elect in Congress to enact the right policies to reduce the reach of government and reinstitute some fiscal responsibility. So I think some circles are looking at it from that perspective. Other circles are meaning around, what we often forget is U.S. exceptionalism. Like why is it that Steve Jobs was able to be Steve Jobs in the United States, and it's the free enterprise system. So from that perspective, I think we need to go back and say, what really, it's free markets that enable the progress that we've seen around the world, and we need to recognize that. And I'm not seeing that on anybody's platform right now, and as well as fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, so this is great news for me, because now that the ladies have the free market economics covered, I can withdraw from that space and start my own men's policy circles that are focused on issues like Bradgelina and issues that I care about.
It's funny. Well, maybe there's a lot of men actually. We've had one of my colleagues is asking about men wanting to start a policy circle, and I feel like every circle, every men's gathering is almost a policy circle, right? So you could lead that. We could help you do that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the mentorship. All right, she is Sylvie Lazar Ricketts. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, you did. Finally.
Yes.
All right.
It took you 3 times, but we got him there.
I mean, I'm working on my French. Sylvie, the policy circle, and is there a website or a place people can go if they want to get involved?
Oh, yes. Thank you. So it's thepolicycircle.org, but people can also text the number 555-888, and they can text the letters TPC.
TPC.
And then they could provide their information and if they're interested in starting a circle. So thepolicycircle.org to learn more. The story, see your circle leaders, how it works. Everything is really on a platform for circle leaders to start, grow, manage their circles and have access to a library of briefs.
All right, Sylvie, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And she joined us on our
Have a great
turnkey.
day, guys.
Oh, thank you. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.